Hey guys, I thought I'd share a little tip here, try to keep the video as short as I can, but it's about replacing the heating element in your standard household oven. Pretty builder grade oven here, a Whirlpool, probably matches some Maytags or something like that, but it's all about the same process. Now the little drawer's fallen off here and I'm going to fix that as well, and the inside is disgusting as you will see in a second, from just things boiling over and baking to the bottom over the years. And since I'm going to have this heating element out, that is the perfect opportunity to get it very clean, and that is just what we're going to do. Here's the racks out. When you pull the racks out, just leave them face up wherever you sit them so you know which direction to put them back in. That'll save you a little time and confusion. Just look at that nastiness. I'm going to get my little Vever light in here. It's a fan light USB bank combo. That's saved me a lot of headaches during power outages. But today, it's just the great work light that I have. So check out how gross all this is and how bad that heating element is. I don't know what happened here, but it decided to blow, and it blows sparks from that little spot. It's just bad. The oven doesn't heat up. It's time to replace the element. So I went ahead and ordered one that I found off of Amazon that looked compatible, and we're going to install it. Now there's the screws that hold this in place. You can unscrew those now and get to the connections, or you can pull the oven out and get to an access panel in the back that you can remove, provided somebody didn't already strip the screws out. We'll see about mine. Anyway, I'm hoping this will be a nice, easy little tip for some of you. In fact, the way that I'm going to show you to do it, you don't even have to pull the oven out if you don't want to. You can just replace the element from the front. Although I do recommend pulling it out and unplugging it before you work on it. So, we of course tried the vinegar trick that everybody says, and that didn't work. We used real chemicals, so if you want to put in the comments you should have tried vinegar, already did. Oh, disgusting. Es muy delicioso. Now, from a previous video, you'll know I love my little shark vacuum. I vacuum all the time. I keep the floors spotless. So to see this filth under the oven is pretty nasty. I actually discovered that there was a mouse back here like last year, and we cleaned up as much as we could, but I never pulled the oven out. I even pulled the fridge out, so we'll just give that a quick vacuuming. And the dog can lick the filth if he wants. Where's the old vinegar at? The vinegar ain't here. We already tried the vinegar. Didn't work. But let's get on to fixing this oven. Now there's a few screws back here that'll hold the cover to the sheet metal, but the problem is they're very stripped out. In fact, the screw holes are pretty much rounded out. Somebody before me stripped that screw out. You know, it's not hard to not strip screws out, but if you're in a hurry, it's real easy to strip screws. So I would tell you, if you're going this angle, use a hand screwdriver. The only reason I'm using this was hoping the impactor would catch something. So I can't get this cover off to change the burner coil. You know, that's a stinker. I could get some vice grips, or I could get some screw D-threader thingy-majigger, but I'm not gonna. What I am going to show you, though, is while you have this pulled out, clean out these trays, because that's where the doo-doo hides. And there is proof of the mouse from last year, which I found dead behind the refrigerator fan. So I know he's gone, but that's super gross. Anyway, we're back inside the oven, and this is how we're going to go ahead and do it. There is the plate that you screw in. And oh no, the camera died right in the middle of shooting. But I want to show you this. I removed those two screws and pulled it forward, and all there is the back of the heater elements connected to these two little interconnectors. There's a male and female part. Now, if you can stick a fork, yes, a fork, I'm telling you, a fork is an awesome tool for this. Again, make sure your electrical is off. Shut off the breaker or unplug your oven. I slid it behind the connector there, and that is so that when I disconnect the oven heater element, the wire doesn't just go shooting back into the insulation and get lost. At least I have something holding these wires. Now, you could use a million things, but the fork looks good because it just slides right in behind the connector head. It won't damage the wire. It won't damage the connector. I think this is an awesome tip. I've used it before, and I'll probably always use this tip, unless I pull the back panel. So as you can see, there's the connectors nestled between two forks. Pretty great, and I'm going to leave them like that while I clean this oven out. I even threw some heavier duty clips on it just to make sure everything's sitting in there while we spray the cleaning chemical. I'm telling you guys, the fork is a great tool, and the fork is not just a good tool for holding those wires from going back, but it's going to be the perfect tool to hold the back of that connector and reconnect it to this new heating element, which I just kind of came up with one day. I don't know why I came up with that, but it seemed like the right tool. And you can't get your fingers back there to pinch it, and it's hard to get a wrench in there, but boy, that fork's perfect. And you'll never damage the wiring or the connector, which I love. Now here's another one I wanted to try just for fun, because I did that fireplace glass cleaning video, and you saw how crystal clear the glass gets with just fire paper and fireplace soot. But that does not work with ovens. It's a whole different thing. It's greasy over here. Not a good tool for it. So if you think the lye or the acidity of your wood ash is going to fix that, it is not. That is why we got this wonderful spray cleaner, whatever this is, and it claims it's fume free, but I am telling you, open windows, run fans, and shut this thing after you spray it, because if this is fume free, then I'm skinny. I mean, it is atrocious, and this stuff was, wow, it was so strong, and it wasn't even like the strong one. So, I'm going to give it a healthy spray and let it go. There it is, the Easy Off Fume Free.
That reeks.
It's fume free. No fumes.
Impossible.
Whatever you're smelling, it's definitely
It's not a fume.
not
That is
fume.
not a fume. It says it right on the can. Oh, I've already got a headache.
Right on the can.
Oh,
Oh my gosh.
Oh, can we shut the oven while it's doing its
yeah,
off-gassing?
you're supposed to.
Oh, okay, be done. Goodness, just be done. No! I can't breathe in here!
Making sure.
Very dramatic, yes, I know, but it was really that bad. Now here's a good look at that heating element. See how it's literally burst? You can see the inside of the component. It is trashed. It might as well be a broken filament in an incandescent light bulb. It is not meant to generate the heat that it is going to generate, so we're not going to do that. Oven's cleaned out. Not going to make you watch me clean an oven. But here we are with the new heating element, already sliding it to the back, and you can see how I'm using the fork to hold the electrical connector. I'm telling you, this is the trick. This is the whole video, is that fork. I know it seems silly. I'm sure there's a better tool for this, but as far as I'm concerned, there's no better tool for it. Look how good that went. See the part of the crimped connector there? I'm just sliding the fork right over it and pushing that on. It's pushing from the metal connector. It puts no stress on the wire. I can't say this enough. But make sure it's slid in the fork. Oh no. Lost it in the insulation. Had to go digging a little and pull it back out of there. So maybe there is a better tool than the fork. Maybe there's something little that can clamp it, like some clamping needle nose pliers. I don't know. Still like the fork. Sticking with the fork. And as you can see, I've got it around that connector again. I'm just going to stick the male end, the square prong, in the hole. And that's it. See? Really easy, right? And I hate to say it, but I love to say it. That's it. Both those connectors on there the way they're intended to be. If you wanted to be a real fancy pants about it, you could wrap them in electrical tape, but that's not what it calls for, and I guess it might even make a bad smell or burn back there, so I'd leave it the way the manufacturer left it. And of course, we're just going to slide that back in place, and I'm going to stick those two metal screws back in to connect it to the body of the oven. Now when you're using an impact driver or a drill, you don't have to hammer the snot out of the screw. It just needs a nice connection with a little bit of bite, and that's what we're going to get here. Now one of the screw holes doesn't even bite. The screw just goes in and that's it, and that's fine. That's the way it was when it came out. And look how easy that was. Total piece of cake. Looks great. And your heating element is replaced. Now if you can remember which direction these little trays go in, that's a plus as well. Now this is pretty much the end of the how to replace the heating element video. Of course you're going to want to turn your power on or plug it back in or whatever you've done. But I'm going to do a little more cleaning up on this oven, put a couple screws in that drawer, get the rest of the grease off, and make it look good. Now I do know there's some retaining clips down here that help the drawer slide better, which seem to have been broken, and I'll order some of those up and fix them. But for now, I do have the metal screws, and I can at least reattach the face of it, so that is cool. Yep, just missing those little retainers. Now, one of these days I'll show how to replace this control panel because we have a button that broke in it, so it's a real stinker to use.
It smells like something.
Does it?
Yeah. You don't smell that?
I smell that.
Okay, is that bad?
Smells good. Smells good.
What it smells like is something new that produces heat or is near intense heat, especially a metal product. It needs to burn off a little. But let it burn off, let it run a cycle of high temperature, and just break it in. Maybe the first 2 or 3 times you use this new heating element, the oven temperature won't be exactly right, so I really do suggest the break-in period, because otherwise, you know, it just might cook your first 2 meals a little weird. So go ahead, break it in, call it done, and I'm going to push that oven back in and call this a job done. Guys, I sure do appreciate you watching. Thanks for watching. I hope this helped you. I think the fork trick is a golden trick. Anyways, videos are few and far between these days. I just have to limit myself to when I'm feeling well enough to do things and when I'm doing something I can do that I want to film. So this was one of them, and I thought I'd share it with you. Hope you guys have a great day, and we'll see you on the next one. God bless. Oh yeah, and if I could just ask you one more thing. Please like the video, please comment on the video, and please subscribe. Thanks everybody.